everybody, Sean with Triangle of Truth here, back with another rapid review for you guys this week. So if you have seen a lot of the new videos that we've done recently, you've seen that we've gotten a lot of really cool stuff in. Mostly from Kickstarter, but recently Jay and I also got some stuff in that we ordered from our good friends Garrett and Dr. Christie at Four Colored Fiends. Well, what I got was a #1 variant cover of a comic called Apex Cybernetic Samurai Owl, which is written and colored by Kenny Aiken. Pencil and inks are done by Brian Belando, and letters done by Justin Birch. Now, we'll put a link to the unboxing video down in the description, but needless to say, the chromium cover that we got, stunning. Absolutely one of the coolest and nicest covers I've ever seen. One of the nicest covers I have in my personal collection, so definitely I'll try to put some pictures up on Instagram and whatnot, but pictures really don't do it justice by how nice it is in person. With that said, how good was the comic itself if the cover was that good? Well, let me go ahead and say, it is actually really, really good. It's #1 is a very good, solid kind of background origin story, but they don't, what I appreciate about it in this instance is that they don't dive too terribly much into the origin. They give you a good solid foundation to work with, and then they keep the story progressing to kind of show you where everything's going. Basically, Apex, who's the main character, is, as you guessed, an owl, albeit a rather giant-sized owl. I don't know if before they show you where he is in the beginning of the book, if he was enhanced to get him to be the size of a human, or if in this particular universe animals are just that big. Either way, you see him, he's about the size of a human. He is an experiment that they are putting nanites and implants in to basically create a weapon. And somehow, while they're integrating what they call the Apex module onto him, all the sedatives suddenly just wear off. He's 100% conscious, breaks out of his holding tube, I guess is the best way to put it, that they were holding him in, and breaks out of the lab that he's in. And along the way, you get a lot of good mix of, people, of course, panicking because it's scientists, you know how it is, and him just attacking and killing soldiers. They don't, it's a solid mix of, they don't get too gory with it, but, the aftermath of what you're seeing. For instance, it looks like his wings are as sharp as blades, and he uses them legit to slice through his opponents. Wow. His opponents, and just, and they give you the nice little sound where you hear stuff like that, and next thing you know, it's a room full of people just down on the ground. They do a really cool thing where they show you what it looks like through his eyes, which is kind of where you see the cybernetic part of him, because it's all in red. His eyes glow red, and you see the targeting monitors and this and that, and you just see how he sets everything up, and then boom, he pulls out an attack. So of course he breaks out of the lab, and the lab explodes. Now where the samurai part comes in is somewhere in they do like I believe it's a 5-year jump if I remember right, and no, not 5 years, but it's 5 something. But they do a time jump, and he has kind of found solace with an ancient Japanese samurai, or someone who is from an ancient clan, but this is very much in modern day. This gentleman, you learn, is the very, very last of his clan, the last of his kind, and he has taken it upon himself to train Apex. Now, the one thing I will say is that throughout this entire issue, Apex actually never speaks at all. So that's how I wonder, because his sensei, or his master, calls him Apex. You see him, attack now, this and that, good. And I wonder if in future issues or anything, if Apex is actually going to talk or not, or if this was just something that they just decided that that his master is going to call him, his teacher. So I'm very curious down the road if Apex will actually speak or not. But you know, he's found his way with learning the ways of this ancient samurai clan. And you learn that that particular clan was very close to the emperor and charged with the protection of, you know, the emperor from ancient times up to modern, and just Japan and the world in general. And that's what he's grooming Apex for, is to take over when he dies. And then the protection of Japan and sometimes the world will be ultimately his responsibility. They leave you with the people from the corporation having sent a group of, it looks like ninjas, but definitely just some mercenaries, and what they call Apex's experiment number 10. And experiments number 11 and 12, they give you just a brief image of them on the very last page. It looks like another owl and another kind of bird that I'm not entirely sure what it is, but they got the same kind of enhancements and whatnot, and they're there for the Apex module. Apparently, whatever this thing ends up being, as I'm sure we'll find out in future issues, is what probably makes the, I guess, you know, for now I'll call it the Apex program, what it is. So I'm actually really, really excited to hopefully find issues 2 and 3, or, you know, if Kenny and them are close to releasing a trade of it soon, I'll just get the trade and read everything all in one go, and seeing where the story goes. Now, as I said, the cover was awesome on the Chromium variant that I have. The book itself, you know me, I'm a big art snob. I love my art in my books. Art, for me, can almost make or break a book. If it's bad, or bad in terms of my opinion, you know, not what I think is bad, you know, someone else might think is great. But for me, if it's art that turns me off so much, it doesn't matter how good the story is, I just can't read the book. So, like I said, the art in this book is really, really cool. Kenny and Brian and them did a really cool job of, you know, what they wanted to accent in a picture, not to mention the contrasting colors. There's darks with very, you know, noticeable brights and everything, and it's really, really cool. And just for me, it stood out quite a bit. It also made it very visually appealing, and I love that because it helps me immerse myself in the world, if that makes sense. So, yeah, definitely 2 thumbs up and then some on the art and the colors. I thought they really did cool. I'm definitely hoping to look into and find more of this team's work, Kenny, Brian, Justin, all of them, and to show support for them. And if you can, do yourself a favor, go online, see if where you can find a copy of Apex for yourself and pick one up. I promise you it is well worth the read. Anyways, that is all I got for this one. Everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.